Greetings, free thinkers. Welcome to the Hoggcast. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing fine. I certainly am. Okay, what do we have for you on today's episode? We have for you one main clip to watch, but then there's a second clip that's just... I'm showing you it to make the point that I'm going to make in this video. So, Boris Johnson, British Prime Minister, Sino, C-I-N-O, Conservative in name only. He's visited Ukraine. Now, being who we are, conservative commentators, this of course has to be premised with the usual stuff. Yes, we understand that Ukraine has the right to defend themselves. Yes, we want Ukraine to defend themselves. No, we do not support Russian aggression. Those things aside, because you have to say those things, you know what the left are like, you have to say these things. Those things aside, doesn't mean that we can't criticise Boris Johnson for, off the top of my head, two things. Firstly, this photo op is a photo op, yeah? That's why I'm going to show you the second clip, because the second clip is kind of where, in my opinion, Boris Johnson got his inspiration from for this trip. And secondly, of course, to go with this, we, as in Britain, are sending £100 million, about $130 million worth of military aid to Ukraine. We're doing this openly, out in the open. Therefore, nationally taking a side in a war that had nothing to do with us. Yeah. Once upon a time, the left were... Can you remember the Stop the War people? Can you remember those? What happened to those? They all seem to be on the right now. Yeah? By all means, if I was a Ukrainian, I would be defending Ukraine. If someone had done to Britain what they're doing to Ukraine, I would defend Britain. But I'm not Ukrainian. And why Ukraine? Do you know how many conflicts are actually happening in the world right now? There's more than one. There's more than just what's happening in Ukraine, but you don't hear about it because the mainstream media doesn't want you to know about it. So he's gone for a trip around Kyiv with Zelensky. There was a moment where both of them got handed two ornaments. They were like duck ornaments. That was a sweet moment from a woman, a local woman. But it's still a photo op. Yeah, a dangerous photo op that just like an international virtue signalling attempt, right? That could land us in hot water, because this is more than just, well, we'll send some people to train or we'll send volunteers, and that you are directly putting us on a side in a conflict that doesn't have anything to do with us. You have now joined a proxy war, yeah. You've put me in a proxy war. And our families. So let's get into this clip now. We'll play it now. If you haven't yet though, please like the video, subscribe to the Hoggcast, hit the notification bell and share the video around. I have a membership scheme which you can join. I have 9 amazing members who honour and humble me that they support the Hoggcast in these trying times in our quiet corner of the internet, because I am shadow banned and deboosted, because I am the underdog and we are conservative commentators. Anyway, let's go.
How are you? Just don't present.
My dad. Here.
Open the cars. Can you move it?
Now, being charitable, you could interpret this photo op as wanting to lift the spirits of the Ukrainian people, and if that's the case, that's fine. Nobody's concerned about that. However, this is what irritates me about my own country, right? Our political elite, yeah. They're kind of cowards. They will wait and see what other people are doing, and they'll whisper to people in their ears. For example, if you are doing this to raise the morals of the Ukrainian people, look, the British Prime Minister's here, he's going to help us. then go all in. Look, if you're walking around their capital city, what, are you going to declare war? I mean, if it's not a photo op and you're there to help them, go all in. Do you see any other world leaders doing this? Right. This is an attempt by Boris Johnson, because we've had a lot of scandals here with Boris, to look tough. I don't think he's doing this to help anyone else. It's just my opinion. If he is doing it, if you want to be charitable, to raise the morale of the Ukrainian people, you could make that argument. However, those Ukrainian people are then going to ask, quite rightly, the people you've just told them you're on their side because you're in their capital city. They're going to ask you, hey, where's the help? Where is it? Right? Where are the men?
Yes, I was the man. I think he was.
And you just know these areas were cleared out first. You know that, don't you? They were cleared out first. Oh, we got Boris Johnson come in. You know, you can't be standing around here. Right, this is what I mean. This is heartwarming, yeah. So, this woman, she bought these two. If this story is legit, I mean, you never know. It could be a part of the photo op. I don't want to think that, because that's, in my opinion, overtly negative. Yeah, it could be, but it's too much for me to, well, that's just this, and well, that's just that. I'm happy on this occasion to take this at face value. So she got these, just happened to be two like ornament duck things that she was going to take to Poland to give to people. But then she just happened to bump into both Zelensky and Boris Johnson, and she just happened to have these two gifts in her hand, and she just happened to give it to both of them. Yeah, but I am prepared to suspend my suspiciousness on that, because it is a heartwarming. It's quite heartwarming. Take a look.
Вот таких петушков, они были на Бородянке на шкафчике стояли, вот такие вот петушки остались, да, я хотела бы их подарить.
I'm from London.
Oh no!
I'm from Kharkiv.
I'm from London. Who would have thought?
Yeah, so sorry.
Thank you very much. Is it for wine or for water?
Is it for wine or for water? Trust Boris Johnson to say that. Right, remember when I said a minute ago, I mentioned about the scandals that Boris Johnson's had in Britain? One of them was, drum roll please, Wine Fridays. Whilst we were all locked down, whilst we couldn't even, I remember seeing one clip of a woman who went to see her elderly mother in an old person's home, and they turned her away. They said, oh no, you can't come in, and she had to speak by phone. They put a phone against the elderly woman's, she was behind a window. You couldn't get in to visit your own mother. Yeah, but this guy, whilst everyone else was masked up, this guy and his friends were in the Garden of Downing Street, in the prime ministerial place where they all go and do their weird things, and they were having Wine Fridays, taxpayer funded Wine Fridays. So now you see all of these scandals, you're probably getting an idea of why he's here. And what does he ask when he gets given one of these ornaments? Does it pour water or wine?
For two cockerels. Thank you very much.
But that's what I mean, man. It's just, Boris Johnson has this thing about him that's quite likeable. Even though he's in a field of snakes. And that I don't mean that here. I mean in British Parliament. Yeah, British Parliament is a field of snakes. Yeah. He has a quality about him that's soft enough to like. It's like a British kind of tomfoolery. Yeah. It's just a segment I like, and I like her face as well. I find because these are salt of the earth people, man. They really are.
Thank you very much.
Дякую.
І вам
Дякую.
дякую.
Thank you.
Свобода Україна.
Слава Україні.
You see what I mean? So that's what, in my opinion, is nothing more than a photo op. This little touching moment aside. Now I will show you the second clip, and I will show you what I think has brought this on. In part, yeah, because Boris Johnson, his reputation has suffered quite a lot, and he has looked corrupt, inept, and weak. And he's been that way for some time. And however much they despise the working classes who are conservative, they know that those are the things that conservatives find admirable, yeah. Well, the opposite of those, like strength as opposed to weakness, accountability as opposed to corruption, yeah, effectiveness as opposed to ineptitude, right? And who is a conservative star who did something like this, who even gets referred to as the God Emperor, unironically, and who is it that he might want to look like in order to impress the conservative working class hoi polloi, yeah? Let's take a look. Ta-da! The God Emperor. So this is him he's done a surprise visit. You've probably seen this before. This isn't new. This is from his presidency when he was at the height of his power. But he visited North Korea, or the border there, in a spontaneous visit. And he actually crossed the line, the border line. It's called, what is it, the 46th or the 96th or the 45th parallel. It's something parallel, isn't it? And he crossed it, being the first president to do it ever. That is, and this ain't Ukraine, this is North Korea. That's how much of a boss man he is. So that's the border where Donald Trump is standing, South Korea, where Kim Jong-il is about to stand, North Korea. Like I say, it's not new, so you've probably seen this. If you haven't, where was you? Where have you been? You will be just as breathtaking as we all were when it happens. Unscripted. Unlike Boris Johnson's photo op, this is unscripted.
Good to see you again. I've never expected to meet you at this place.
So Kim Jong-il has just invited President Trump over the line. He could have said no, etc., but he didn't.
If your Excellency takes a step forward, you will be the first US president to cross the line.
Whoa, no.
That is the President of the United States, or well, he was at the time, he still is, who went across alone into North Korea. You tell me that's not a boss move.
Get out of the way. Move. Clear.
is a great moment. Big moment. Big moment. Big progress. Tremendous progress.
That's a real leader. The aura, I'm talking about Donald Trump, the aura of leadership oozes off of Trump. It's a real leader. And it's what we need in these trying times. I mean, yeah, you can argue, you can make a very strong argument that Zelensky has proven himself a real leader, comedian or not, yeah? Do you know who hasn't? Boris Johnson. But he wants you to think he is one. Hence the photo op. I'll leave it there. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments section below. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.